Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is my first proper video where I'm going into 10 reasons why I'm starting a wellness and weight loss YouTube channel in 2023. Number one, I've recently injured my back, ironically at the gym, lifting some weights. I slipped a disc. I saw a really good physio and he was really interested in getting to the root cause of the problem, not just looking at the mechanics of the injury, but also, are there any underlying causes that might have made me more prone to getting the injury in the first place? As part of this initial assessment, I did a blood test, and it looked at some key biomarkers, and it showed some interesting things. It showed slightly elevated blood sugar levels and slightly elevated cholesterol levels. Given that I'm also overweight, I think this was kind of pointing towards eventually in the next few years developing metabolic syndrome. This was a bit of a kick up the backside, probably one that I really needed. But the great thing is everything's totally reversible. So it's the main reason why I'm wanting to start this channel, as I sort of chart my progression journey. Two, I've done a number of sort of health kicks, seen personal trainers, done a myriad of diets, and I have had some successes with these, but I've always kind of reverted back to less good habits and always kind of put the weight back on. So I'm really looking at this as a wholesale lifestyle change to really make a difference and come up with some sort of lifelong habits that will mean that I maintain the weight loss over kind of the next 30, 40 years or so, and live a more healthy lifestyle, not just seeing it as a sort of a one-time deal. If I do 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it is, and lose a lot of weight, that'll be the end of the journey. I think that's a bit of naivety, and I'm starting to understand that now. Three, I want to be seen as someone who's relatable. I think I've struggled managing my weight and my well-being over most of my adult life. I think when you kind of get into go to the gym, you tend to see people who have got it all under control, and perhaps they aren't the most relatable people in the world. They've always been into fitness, they've always been into health, and if you're coming from not that position, you may struggle to, they might struggle to be relatable to you. And I hope that that's something that I can bring through this channel, is that I'm doing this journey, and if I can do it, there's absolutely no reason why anybody else can't. I think it's just about, focusing and dedicating the time. Also, with a lot of PTs, it's not to criticize the industry, but I think there's a lot of focus on, exercise and nutrition, primarily looking at kind of macronutrients. So what's your protein intake, your carb intake, and your fat intake. And I think for a lot of people, they need to look more holistically at their well-being and include looking at kind of mental health and sleep and other factors that have ultimately meant they've not been successful up until now. Also, I think when you go and see a lot of PTs, they tend to be slightly younger individuals. Not to knock them, but I'm kind of in my mid to late 30s. I've had quite a lot of life experiences. I'm married. I've got 2 young children, and I'm hoping I can give the perspective of someone who's perhaps trying to juggle those those challenging priorities of children, a partner, and a job as well. And so I'm hoping I can bring some kind of interesting insights looking at those perspectives. As I said earlier, I'm married, I've got 2 children. I want to make sure that I'm around a long time to spend with them and make sure that I'm around to see all those key life milestones, but also just really enjoy the day-to-day with them, playing at the park, walks along the beach, going on holidays, all those really cool things, and do those for as long as I possibly can. And I'll also be fit enough to really enjoy that as long as I can. 5, for the last few years, especially since kind of getting in a relationship and getting married and having children, I've prioritized other people's well-being above my own. So I put more effort into looking after my partner and the family, rather than focusing on my own well-being. And I think ultimately that's a mistake. I think I need to focus on myself, and if I can be fitter and healthier, and have more energy and be more present in the moment, ultimately that'll be better for them as well. I think a lot of people fall into that trap where they try and prioritize everybody else first, and then there's very little left for them at the end. And I think if you can actually flip that on its head and prioritize yourself, you'll find that everybody else will benefit as well. And I think, I've always seen that as something that's quite selfish, but over the last, few weeks where I've been really trying to focus on my own well-being, I've started to notice a knock-on impact, that I'm more present, I've got more energy, I'm more willing to do things, and my children and my partner have noticed that as well. So it's benefiting them as well, and I really want to try and instill that message as well and chart that. So hopefully it'll give some of you the confidence that you can, work on yourself and not worry that it's gonna. 6, I just want to help people really. I think I've really struggled with this for a long time. I've had, periods where I've been relatively fit and healthy, and periods where I've been, unfit and unhealthy. And it's been a real struggle. And if I can sort of track my progress and, share what I'm doing, come up with some hints and tips and, just some new ideas. And if that helps other people, I think that would be really, really great, as I know how challenging it can be. 7, I think life is about continual learning. I think if you can always try to learn new skills, and by doing this YouTube channel, I'll be learning a lot of skills. Talking to camera is not something I've ever really done before, but really keen to learn that skill. Video editing, coming up with script writing for videos, all that kind of stuff, and it'll be a really interesting thing to learn. And also become more confident at doing that, which hopefully will have ripple effects elsewhere, not just for this channel. Number 8, I really want to hold myself accountable. I think accountability is really important. Sometimes the people closest to you aren't the best at holding you to account, as they tend to be. They tend to love you and be really kind, and if you're not feeling up for doing something, they're more likely to sympathize and empathize with you, whereas actually sometimes you need that tough love to really get on with it. And I want to be really accountable to you. Give you guys the opportunity, share everything with you, chart my weight losses, what's going well, what's not going quite so well, be really super open and honest, and hopefully we can build a community that will allow us to be accountable to each other, which will really help push us all forward, whatever aspect we're trying to work on. Number 9 is just about proving to myself that I can do this. I'm not naturally an outgoing person. I think being able to make these videos and put them out there is just to prove to myself partly that I can do it, and also be a role model to my children, that if I've got an idea that I'll just go out there and do it and give it a go, even if it doesn't work out. I think it's really important to be that proactive role model for my children. Number 10, I'm really ready to make a change. Taken a long time to get to this point, but I'm determined that I've got to, look after myself a bit better, become more healthy, lose some weight, work on my mental health, get my body in much better shape, and my general wellness in much better shape. So I'm able to be more present for my children and be around a lot longer. And I think now is really the time to do that. My children are, 3 and 4, so they're relatively young. And I just want to make sure that I can do it for myself and for them to be around for a long time. So those are the 10 reasons why I'm starting this channel. Just before we wrap up, I just wanted to share the message that you're absolutely worth spending time on and investing in yourself. You're worth it. You deserve it. And I know a lot of people are uncomfortable with that notion, but I think it's fundamentally true. Everybody deserves to spend time on themselves and prioritize themselves and work on themselves to make them the best version of themselves they can possibly be. So I really want to encourage you to say, to give something a go, give this a go, and really that you deserve to give yourself the time to do it. And the best time to make a change is now. There's an old kind of relatively famous saying that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, the second best time is now. And I think that's the same with any sort of journey to sort of fitness, weight loss, well-being. Is the best time to start was last year or the year before or a decade ago, but the second best time is really to start now. So I'd encourage you just to make a change and really make this a priority for yourself, and just to get going, just to try something really simple. What I've been doing over the last month or so is just going out for a walk every morning. I've been getting up a little bit earlier, going to bed a little bit early to make sure I've got the energy in the morning to get up and just go for a walk and be outside. It's such a small change, but it's made such a big difference to my mental well-being predominantly. So I just encourage you to you know, to once you finish watching this video, put the phone down, put on a pair of trainers and go outside, and even if it's only for a 5-minute walk, I think you'll feel much better for that. And then just try to keep doing that every day and go a little bit further and stay out a bit longer. You'll be amazed at how much of a difference it will make and how quickly it will make that difference. I just want to say thank you so much for watching and supporting me on this journey. Please check out my latest video if you want to hear more, and drop a comment if there's anything that you've resonated with in this video, or there's anything you'd like to see me make a video about in the future. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please hit the subscribe button if you like this video, and hope to see you again shortly.